I think it's only right that we start this episode with the wise words from the prophet Meek Mill, who once said, "There's levels to this." And if we don't understand what level we're at, we run the risk of doing more harm than good. Let's talk about it.
Creator Podcast.
My name is Dion Williams, aka Dion Does, and I truly believe that we were all created in the image of the ultimate creator, and therefore it's in us all to create. And this show aims to help you and I both level up in this four-dimensional game of life so that we can go out and create for good, whether that's for ourselves, our family, the community around us, but all of this a part of a generational vision of a family of creators coming together to be the difference.
Welcome back, Creator Fam. Episode 31. I don't know why I messed it up last episode, man. I could have thought for sure we hadn't hit 30 yet, and it actually was the 30th episode. You guys are amazing, man. The support has been phenomenal. 50 plus countries. It means the world. I appreciate all the 5-star ratings, all the reviews, all that means the world. Keep it coming. You guys are helping this thing grow, helping it spread. Now, when I say, well, I didn't say it. Meek Mill said it. He said there's levels to this. And I think he meant it more trying to stun on people like, yo, there's clearly levels, and I'm at the higher level. You're not in the same bracket as I am. You JV, I'm varsity. And I think, and that sounds really, really mean. And it kind of is. But it's true. There's truth to it. And we were designed for things to be at levels. We take steps, right? My son, who I talked about it some episodes back, I actually took him to get his shot today. You know, his 1 year checkup, and then he had to get 3 shots. I think I was more broken up about it than he was. He cried for a little bit and shook it off. But I struggle every time because I'm always at those appointments and they jack me up. I hate seeing my kids get shots, but we see him progress through levels. He, for obviously he was just trying to keep his head up, literally, right? Couldn't balance his own head. Then he can sit up on his own. Then he can begin crawling. And then he's walking. And now to the point he's trying to run and climb on things. Now imagine the pain he could have caused to himself or others if he were to try to run before he even knew how to walk. Or even before he knew how to crawl. And sometimes we get caught up with this idea of equality, right? And equality is a myth. Now, I love the conversation around like a human right. Like I'm cool with that. We should be equal on that plane. But there's a lot of different things where we're truly not equal, right? Like my understanding of something that you may understand isn't equal, and so I shouldn't. If we're maybe competing for a job, I shouldn't get paid the same as you. And that's okay. Because there was a point that you were at my level. And I can learn, I can grow, I can evolve. But because we're so hung up on that and there's a huge sense of entitlement, we like to try to skip levels. Like if you have $1 million business, I feel I should just have $1 million business. Because who are you? We're equal. You're not better than me, which you're not as a person and in your existence, right? You can't be better than me in the sense of that, but you might be better at what you do. And that's why you're rewarded differently. And so as a creator, we have to break this microwave mindset of thinking we have to have success overnight or expedited. There's a process to everything. And when you skip the process, you miss out on the lessons. I know you want to go from level 1 to level 10. I know you want to skip steps, but just like in the real world, right? Let's say I'm running up a flight of steps. The safest and most reliable way for me to walk up those steps is one step at a time. Now, it's not impossible to skip steps, but the more steps you try to skip, the more you're in danger, the more there's a risk of you hurting yourself, of you tripping and falling. And it's just like that with everything. I'm not saying you can't meet her on Monday, marry her on Tuesday. I'm just saying you're skipping like 20 steps. Good luck. Like, don't be mad when you sprain your ankle. And there's so many things that you learn on step 3 and 4 that allow you to be the person that can withstand step 8. Right? Even when you look at some of the statistics around lottery winners, I don't remember it exactly off the top of my head, so I don't want to give you anything exact, but the majority of them go back to where they were or worse within a few years. Oh, almost dropped my mic. It's not even that long. And why is that? Because they were given something and they went to a level, right? Some of these people are coming from like poverty and going straight to millionaire overnight. Do you know, like, you don't know how to manage that type of money. And so I would much rather, maybe it does take me longer to get to a certain level, but I want to be the person that deserves to be there. The person that can handle that weight, right? If I lift 300 pounds and then put you under it, if you don't have what it takes to hold that up, you're going to hurt yourself. Now, if you take the steps, it might take you years, but when you can hold it, now then you have some, then you deserve it, and then you're at a level where you can sustain it. All right, so we cannot live in this world where we are entitled and believe that we can skip steps. That is not the way of the Creator. So here's what we're going to do. I want you to take out your creator frame, which is your faith, your relationships, your energy, and your economics. And I want you to get curious. Find any areas, right, that are jumping out to you. A lot of the times, there's going to be the same 1 to 3 things when I bring this up, because you're working to get through law school, or you're grinding to make the starting spot on the team, or you're launching your business. So don't feel bad when your business is what keeps coming up at the end. That's fine. But I want you to find something, and I want you to clearly identify what level are you at, right? You don't have to name it anything special. But what I mean by that is just understand, like, if you were to tell me, all right, I want to be an NFL quarterback. Okay. And I say, how old are you? You say, I'm 17. Okay, well, first off, you're not, like, you can't just be the quarterback tomorrow. All right, so there's a process, but what level of that process are you at, right? What can we tell by how far along you've gone on this journey? Like, if you just learned what football was yesterday, I'm like, okay, you are at the very beginning, and so everything you need to be doing is around that level, right? You're not learning anything advanced, starting with the very, very basics. And you want to be careful. You don't want to be setting yourself up for failure because you're putting yourself on a level you're not built to handle. Right? Like, if you just started your business last week, you probably shouldn't be comparing yourself to me. I've been at this for a while, and I had to figure a lot of things out the hard way. And so so when you are executing on a daily basis, we need to know what's important, what's realistic, what are the expectations. All of this stuff is defined by the level that you are at, and then accept that. I want you to lean into that, because when you clearly define that, you can say, all right, now who's at a higher level? Who should I be reaching out to help pull me up, to help me grow, to help help me move this needle forward. All right. And then when you know what level you're at, you know how you can start working on collaborations, finding partners, all of this good stuff. But I can't even, I even have students sometimes that'll just get really excited when they just started and they're telling me their plans. Yeah, and then I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that. I'm like, well, hold up. How are you gonna do that? Like, you talking about getting a sponsor. You just made your YouTube channel. Where the sponsors coming from? Who is 0 subscribers has sponsors? Now, I'm not saying we won't talk about it one day. I'm just saying you got to get to that level first. There's levels to this, and it's okay. All right? And I want you to just clearly understand what level you're at, and then your next focus is what does the next level look like? I'm not asking you to go from, we're talking on a scale from 1 to 10. I'm not asking you to go from 2 to 10, 2 to 9. That's what we all want to do. We're like, all right, I know how to play the piano now. How do I go on a world tour? No, that's not the next step. Only focus on the next step. Now, the next step is determined by the vision and the end goal. So we can get crystal clear on that. And then we pull things back, and the focus is the next step. All right. And that's what I'm really getting at here. So identify what level you're at. And I hate to break it to you, but there are levels to this. We talked about business, right? And I was like, I might be at a higher level than you, but don't get it twisted. If we look at this scale of entrepreneurship, there's many, 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 many levels above where I'm at. All right. And so this isn't to get anyone to feel inferior because there's someone that's lower than you. But then this also isn't for you to become proud and arrogant, because I promise you, boo-boo, there's someone that's on a higher level than you as well. And that's where we find this balance, and there's nothing wrong with that. And then the way we start moving faster and accelerating is by only focusing on the step, just one step in front of us, and we give that all of our attention, and then we move on to the next step. And the next, and then we have momentum, and then it starts to get easy. We're reprogramming the success operating system, and it's all gravy. So that's all I have for you guys today. Stay safe. I love you guys. Make sure you check out freecreatorcode.com, also freecreatorblueprint.com if you're looking to get started in business. But that's it. I love you guys. Until next time, God first, God bless.